What's going on, everybody? Today I want to talk about how you can overcome lack of discipline. What is discipline and how you can utilize it, especially self-discipline, so that you can really achieve anything that you want, anything that you set your mind to, any goal that you may want to reach can be achieved through self-discipline. A lot of what we do and what we don't do is a result of our own actions and our own drive to either A, accomplish something, or B, not accomplish something. And many terms have been used, such as laziness, product of circumstance, product of environment. Why there are people that come from nothing, they're able to make a substantial difference in their life and create, whether it be wealth, success, happiness, joy, you name it, what have you. But I truly believe that the secret to sending your self-discipline through the roof and being able to achieve the things that you want to achieve is understanding that it's a choice and that it's a moment-by-moment choice. By that I mean from setting your alarm to wake up at 5 o'clock in the morning and deciding to get up versus to stay in your bed. That is the first choice. And then what happens is it becomes like a domino effect. And the more that you're able to stay with that self-discipline, the less resistance that you'll have throughout your day. Robert Kiyosaki said that self-discipline is the number one delineating factor between the rich, the middle class, and the poor. And I truly believe that. And whether you believe in money being happiness or money being the definition of success, let's just kind of go ahead and throw a blanket on this right now, because it doesn't matter what it is you do, what your beliefs are in the sense of success, because we all have our own definitive answers and our own definition of what success is. But pretty much everything in this life costs money. Everything in this world that we exist in, if you are living on Earth, has some sort of monetary need. And we live in a world of commerce. And so yeah, it's going to make your life easier. Yes, it's going to allow you to do things. And if you realize that money is just a tool, then what's going to happen is you're going to be able to leverage that tool to be able to do incredible things that make you happy, that make the world a better place. And I truly believe that you should leave the world a better place than when you arrived. So that being said, let's kind of go through a little of the tactics that I use. And this is all in line with being able to master oneself and become the best version of you that you possibly can. So number one is that I take cold showers. Now, I don't do them regularly as much as I used to before, but I would still say 6 days out of the week, maybe four to 5 days out of the week, actually, if I'm being honest. I take cold showers, but it's only the last 30 seconds to a minute of the shower. So you take a shower, and then at the end of it, you just put it on cold, and then you just try to last. The first time, it's going to be horrific. So you want to be able to, incrementally, or what I like to call progressive overload, right? Incrementally add time. And so you may only be able to withstand it for like 5 seconds the first time. And then the next time, maybe you shoot for 10 seconds and so on and so forth. The goal is pretty much to be able to reach about a minute. I think after a minute, it doesn't really, matter as much because the psychological benefits have already taken place. Cold showers, personally, besides from the fact of being able to exercise willpower, being able to sustain something like that your body recognizes as, I don't like this feeling. It's early in the morning. I haven't even had my coffee. I haven't had my pre-workout. I'm just waking up. This is going to be exhausting. Like, I can't do this right now. That is part of the willpower, part of the whole process of lessening the resistance throughout the day. So the first step was being able to wake up at 5 o'clock and actually getting up. Whatever your clock may be. I'm just using 5 a.m. as a reference point. It's shown that entrepreneurs are either going to bed at 5 a.m. or they are waking up at 5 a.m. 5 a.m. is huge, but not everybody's circadian rhythm allows them to be early risers. Some of them they're night owls, and so they work till 5 o'clock in the morning, then they go to bed, and maybe they wake up at 10 or 11 o'clock in the morning. So don't be stuck on this whole 5 a.m. thing. But I am an early riser, always have been. That's just my own personal circadian rhythm. That's a conversation for another video. But I just want to go ahead and say that the first thing is being able to wake up, and that is the first success. You just fucking won that challenge. You won that challenge. You're done. Okay. Now you're going to take a cold shower. You're going to take a shower, do your thing, the last 30 seconds or whatever your time is, whatever you're starting at, you're going to take a cold shower at the end of your shower. Okay. That's going to be continually exercising willpower, and it's going to minimize the resistance for the rest of your day. And I'm going to get to that in a minute. In addition to exercising willpower, there's actual science. If you guys have heard of the I forget his name. I think it was the Hoff technique, which is he's the dude with the beard that like sits out in like the Atlantic Ocean, freezing water, and goes to the North Pole and is butt naked hanging out in snow. So there's a couple things with that. Number one, it definitely boosts your immune system. Like it builds your immune system substantially so. And they're currently being studied and they're being measured, but outside of developing willpower, boosting your immune system, helping you like fight against like depression, anxiety, mechanisms along those lines. It also stimulates your body's like fight or flight response, which is your sympathetic nervous system. And it helps with stimulating this hormone that is called norepinephrine, which functions as the neurotransmitter that enhances focus, that enhances mood, that enhances attention. So think of it like this. So the number one neurotransmitter outside of norepinephrine, or the one that helps stimulate that, is dopamine. Dopamine is something that we get too much of in today's electronic world. We get dopamine hits with our phones constantly, right? So ding, we get a little email, ding, we get a little notification. Somebody liked your post, they commented, they shared, they blah, 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 blah. Television, Netflix. I mean, the amount of stimulation is unbearable, and it's providing too many dopamine hits. And so when we do something that provides a good dopamine hit, let's say, for example, we want to reevaluate what dopamine is and how we get our dopamine hits. Like, for instance, maybe reading a book, right? Maybe reading a book, maybe meditating, maybe exercising. That's a great one, right? So those are incredible things to be able to get from a 30-second cold shower, right? Theodore Roosevelt once said that with self-discipline, most anything is possible. And I truly, 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 truly believe that. I think that the only thing that separates us, especially now, this is not to say that I'm complete in disregard to third world countries that may not have the same privileges as we do here in North America. But I will say, if you do live in North America, I mean, you have absolutely zero reason why you couldn't do the thing you wanted to do in life, especially now more than ever, where the internet is at play and you have a plethora of advantages over so many other people, over so many different generations that came before you. Like, there's no fucking excuse. Okay, so number one, wake up when we set the alarm clock. If you got to wake up at 5, you wake up at 5. That is your first victory. You won that fucking battle. Okay, number two, you're going to stimulate your immune system and again achieve some additional willpower by powering through and getting at least a 30-second cold shower. Again, as a caveat, I understand if you're building up to it, so whatever. All right. What's the next thing that's really, really, really important? I think the next thing of winning the day is really understanding that now you have won 2 victories. You've went into battle. Excuse me. You have won into battle. You won the first battle. You've won the second battle. Now let's say you go to work. Let's say you work at an office. Okay. Let's say you work in an office and somebody brings in a box of donuts. Okay. And you're like, oh my God. And they're free. And you're looking at these donuts. They have all the donuts that you love. Maybe it's a glazed, maybe it's an old-fashioned, maybe it's a maple bar. Who knows, right? Well, because you won those 2 first victories, you've increased your willpower, and you've minimized the resistance to do the thing that you know you shouldn't be doing. So because you've won those 2 first victories, it's going to be substantially easier for you to not eat that donut and instead have a protein shake, have a piece of fruit, have a healthy breakfast of some kind, whatever that may be. Okay, so that could be victory number 3. Victory number 4 could be truly being disciplined. If you work from home, if you work for yourself, even if you work at an office, turn off your fucking phone. Put it on airplane mode. If you do not need to use it for your business, for your work, turn it off. Put it on airplane mode. Do something where you're completely not distracted. And again, the willpower of being able to minimize resistance up until this point has been quadrupled, right? So almost fourfold. What's going to happen now is that you're going to be more inclined to be able to minimize that. Okay. The fifth thing could be, now you're at lunch. Instead of having a burger and fries, you decide to have like a salmon and some rice, or some chicken and rice, or a piece of steak and some potatoes, something that's going to help provide you with nutrients. Okay. To help stimulate the brain, help give you clean energy, minimize the risk of having to choke back a bunch of Starbucks, which honestly, let's be serious, at this point is just full of fucking sugar. Okay, unless you're going to be drinking like straight up espresso black coffee, which, let's be honest, many of us do not. Okay? Water. Drinking lots of water, I think, is battle number 5. I think most people don't realize the importance of water. If they do, they don't fucking do shit about it. If you understood how important water is for you, like you really understood how important water is for you, it would blow your mind. But at the same time, let's look at the evidence. Most people understand that their body's mostly comprised of water, and yet they don't drink enough of it. Well, what's the rule of thumb? A general rule of thumb is about an ounce of water per pound of body weight. So let's just say you're a 200-pound man. You should be consuming at least 200 ounces of water. Okay? Pretty simple. I wanted to keep it short. That's pretty much it. This is going to help lead us to the next video, so stay tuned for that. I look forward to hearing your comments, and please, if you have any questions, anything you'd like me to discuss that is around personal development, nutrition, strength training, program design, neuroscience, I'd love to be able to answer those questions, and I will create videos if there's enough requests for that. All right, so thank you so much, guys. Have a wonderful week. Go ahead and dominate.